Hi, everybody. My name is Rhonda Balzerini. I'm an assistant professor in psychology at Texas State University, and I'm also an affiliate faculty member with the Kinsey Institute at Indiana University. Today, I'll be sharing some research with you that examines how couples can make the most of their time together and whether self-expansion can help buffer couples' boredom and promote sexual quality among couples. So March 11th, 2020, COVID-19 was declared an international pandemic, and stay-at-home orders were mandated throughout the world. And these stay-at-home orders that were implemented really to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 virus resulted in many couples having to quarantine together, often working from home and caring for their children from home, thereby spending more time together than usual. And as these were really unprecedented times where couples were now quarantining together at home, many people were asking what effect this will have on people's romantic relationships. On the one hand, spending more time together is a commonly reported maintenance strategy for couples. And this is especially true if couples utilize their time together to self-expand or to engage in novel and exciting experiences together. But the usual relationship threats like conflict, financial stressors, debates over division of labor, all of these things can rear their ugly heads when we are isolated together with our partners for inordinate amounts of time. But another more insidious menace also lurks, and that's relational boredom. Indeed, it is also possible for greater time together to be detrimental to relationships, such that repeated exposure and routine over an extended period of time may lead to a lack of novelty in the relationship, which can lead to relational boredom among couples. And it's probably no surprise that relationship boredom is bad for relationships. Relational boredom occurs when we feel tired of our partner and we feel that our relationship lacks excitement, it lacks novelty, and there's no longer that passion. And it can be a real problem in relationships. So relational boredom is strongly related to poor relationship satisfaction. And this is even to the point of predicting satisfaction 9 years later. It can also weaken our connection to our partner. It's linked with less investment in the relationship. It's also linked to withdrawal from the relationship and an increased willingness to be unfaithful. But what can help protect couples from relational boredom during COVID or just in general? So one theory from relationship science that is uniquely positioned to inform this type of question is self-expansion theory. According to self-expansion theory, people are innately motivated to broaden their sense of self by having novel experiences, learning new perspectives, and gaining new skills. So previous research has shown that relationships provide a really unique context to self-expand. However, our opportunities to self-expand are more apt in the early stages of relationships. And although opportunities for engaging in novel experiences with a partner tend to decline over time in relationships, there is research that's shown that engaging in shared activities that are novel and exciting can actually revitalize feelings of self-expansion in the context of long-term relationships. And that self-expanding activities can actually promote intimacy and promote sexual desire among long-term couples. So during COVID, it's possible that couples who use this time together to learn how to make sourdough bread or to take on a new exercise regime or even to take on some new home improvement projects, right? These kinds of people could possibly overcome the boredom that comes with spending more time together, and they may even experience heightened levels of sexual desire and sexual quality in response to this. As such, in the current research, we sought to extend past work and to examine whether engaging in new and exciting activities during COVID, a time in which couples are really spending more time together, could also serve to reduce boredom among couples. And in doing so, could facilitate greater sexual desire and sexual satisfaction among couples. And I'll quickly note that here I'm presenting to you a conceptual model, and I'm going to walk you through this more as our talk proceeds. So to test these questions, I utilized data from the Love in the Time of COVID study, which is an ongoing longitudinal project examining the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on how people connect, relate, and cope during the pandemic. So the survey included responses from 495 people who were in a romantic relationship. And most of our participants identified as heterosexual females, and participants were in their early to mid 30s and were in long-term relationships. I will also note that the survey was offered in 11 different languages, and participants were from 36 different countries. So data collection began shortly after COVID-19 was declared an international pandemic, and those who participated in the initial survey, which is denoted as T1, were invited to complete follow-up surveys every 2 weeks. So in today's talk, I'm going to be focusing on data from the first month and a half, with a total of 3 time points being assessed. Again, all of these time points are 2 weeks apart. So participants were asked to report whether over the last 2 weeks, they had spent much more or much less time with their partner than usual. And I will note that we asked this around 2 weeks after COVID social distancing effects were put into effort. And then to tap into self-expansion, we asked participants how much has being with their partners resulted in them learning new things or having new experiences. And then we included one item to assess boredom, and this item asked participants to indicate how dull their relationship was over the last 2 weeks.